Hi and welcome back to the VA training video course, and in this particular video we're going to look at how long does it take to do tasks for your VA and how you can get it right from the get-go so that you don't have this problem later on. You've gone to the trouble of getting someone, you've recruited someone, and then you've got no way to measure their ability, success rate, etc., their work ethic and standard and speed because you've got no benchmarks to compare against. In this video we're going to talk about how you ensure you get it right every time, and also a great way to get started as a test for people who you're looking to consider as a potential VA for the future. What I recommend you do is you get yourself a copy, if you don't have it, of Camtasia, or you can use some of the other screencast video recorders. You could even use some of the free ones. You could use Jing, something like that. If you wanted to have very short videos that you know are going to be short tasks, then you could always use the free services that are out there. There's free video recorders as well you can use, but I'm using Camtasia for these videos, and it's a good tool to have in your toolbox anyway, and it allows you to create good quality videos that you can give to your VAs. And the reason why I say create video is because it's a great way that kills a few birds with one stone. First of all, if you then watch it back, you can hear how you sound. You can hear that the job specification or the task specification that you've set out is actually going to get all of the components of the job done correctly, because the way you do that is then play it back to yourself and follow it to the letter, or give it to a friend who's never done that task before and see if they can complete it and how long it takes them. The other thing about you recording a video is you get an idea of how long the task actually takes you, and when you allow for the fact of VA when they first get started is going to need extra time to perhaps learn things that you take for granted, that you zip through, you're going to allow them the time then to actually do that. But if you go through the task and actually video the task, the other great thing is you can communicate when you get to a certain point if there's something they may need to do, or the step they might need to take, or permission they may need to get from you. You can always say at this point, stop the video, and here you need to send me a text chat. These are the days and times I'm available. Whatever it is you're doing, you can do great clear instruction on a video, and that way you know how long the task is taking, so therefore how long it should take your VA so you can measure them, and it's a way then to set them a good task to begin with to see if they're even suitable to use as a VA in your business. And it's something that I recommend that everybody does when they're starting out looking for virtual assistants of any kind, is that they make sure that each single task that you're ever going to want to outsource, you video it, because then you've got a record of it, you've got a way to manage the people you employ. And the other thing is, if your VA leaves because they go off to college again or study, or they get another job, or they decide to quit for whatever reason, you haven't got to then go ahead and start training from scratch and taking valuable time out of your day once you've made these videos, provided of course that the technique and the way that they're done hasn't changed. But once you've made the main video, you hand the video to your new VA, they watch the video, can access it at any time, and then they know what to do in order to complete the task. And the other thing is as well, prompt your VAs to give you feedback. So when they first start with you and they're going through the video, if there's something that they found awkward or they didn't quite pick up on, make sure they send you a message or even a video back if you want, telling you what they thought was good, what they thought was bad, what bits or the steps that you missed out they had to fill in, because then you can adjust your video for you. Or better still, if you've got a free copy lying around you can give to your VA, you can ask them to record the part that's missing and insert it into the video accordingly for you, so that they even edit your videos. So that's another task your VA can do for you if they're good at whatever it is they're doing and they can make videos. Now, the essential tool I recommend that you use for every new VA is a Gmail account, no matter what you're using, whether you use Yahoo, Hotmail, I don't care what services you use, or your own domain webmail. Get yourself and get your VA to create a Gmail account. And the reason why is it's great for sharing information between each other and going forward. You might want to then start thinking about using sort of Google Apps that are here as well. But in the beginning, this is a great way to communicate. You've got the built-in chat already included inside Gmail, so they don't have to have Skype or Yahoo Messenger or whatever. It's built into Gmail. And the other thing is it will allow you to set the nice first task for them. So what I'd recommend you do is you say to the VA, or the people when you're recruiting them if you like, and you're getting to the stage where you want to interview people, is that you're going to set them a task and you're going to send them a video. So video yourself doing this step, send them a copy of the video, ask them to follow it through, and then get in touch with you to move on to the next step of the interview process. So what you're asking them to do is to create 2 Gmail accounts for themselves that are totally separate. If they already have a Gmail account, you want them to create 2 new Gmail accounts. The first one will be their personal VA account, which they'll use to communicate between yourselves, so that when they're sending you information, they'll send it from their Gmail VA account to you so that you can keep tabs on each other. And the second account will be one that's suitable that your business can use, that they will manage going forward, because you don't necessarily want to give them your personal account or your business account that you're already using. What you might want to do is set up a brand new one, so that information that you decide to outsource to that VA will get channeled through that account, so you can log in and check it at any time as well. But your VA will be the one that in the main will be checking that email for any incoming new messages, support tickets, whatever it is the tasks that you're going to be giving them. If the public are interacting with you and your business through your VA, they'll go through that account. That's the second account that you ask them to set up. And there's 2 options here. You can either create the video showing them how to set up a Gmail account, or you can ask them to go and research it for themselves, depending on the type of VA you're looking for. You might want them to go and research this next part, or you could do a video showing them what they need to do. But essentially what you want to do here is that you want them to mail you with times and days that they're available when they're able to text chat through the built-in chat that's on Gmail. So you want them to email you with times and dates that they're available within your time zone that suits you based on the ad that you've written, when they can text chat and have their interview with you. Once they mail you, you'll select the time and date that's convenient to you for the interview process, and you'll send back a confirmation that you're able to do that and meet at that time. What you then ask them to do, and this is a bit where you ask them to either use their initiative to actually go and do some research, or again, if you want them to do them verbatim, make a video showing them how they do this, but ask them then to go into the appointment calendar of their personal Gmail account, set up the meeting and the time with their name and the date and time, and making sure it's the right time zone, and then they're to copy in the second Gmail account that they've created that you'll be using for the business, and also you personally, so it will look like there's 3 people attending this meeting and it will be scheduled, and then you'll get a message to your Gmail account telling you you've got an interview at this date and time. Now, if a VA cannot do this, then you probably don't want to employ them anyway, because it's a very simple thing to do. All they have to do, once they have an account, is they go into the calendar option of Gmail. They then choose a date and time. So let's say they're available on the 18th. So they click, they type in what it is, and they create the event. And then you can edit the event as well. And if I show you here one, we've created a dummy one already. See, we've got an interview with Joanne for the VA's position on Wednesday the 18th of January between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. and so far there's only me attending. So what you could do is then they'll come in and they'll edit the event, and they can choose to add guests. So here you can see there's guests. So as you can see, we've only got one. They could then put in their VA. They can then put in their VA address here and add themselves, and obviously then that central account, and hit add, and then copies of that calendar will go to the people concerned who are involved in the meeting, and you'll be notified that Joanne has indeed invited you along for the interview of her on the date and time that you've agreed. The great thing about calendar as well is for you, you've got, if you're not using it at the moment, you'll see your next meeting when it's scheduled for, who it's with. There's a nice summary that Google has. We can go back and discard changes. We can see things daily, break it down weekly. You can see here's our interview, monthly, 7 days, an agenda we can see as well, and there's more options available to you. So it's a good tool for you to be using, so you know when you've got your next scheduled appointment with your VA should you decide to hire them. But in this first step, it tells you when you're going to be interviewing them, the people that you're setting up the interviews with, but it shows then that your VA has a little bit of common sense and they're able to schedule meetings with you and set up a very simple email account with Gmail and schedule a meeting through Google Calendar. And it's a great way just to get yourself started, and then you'd go through the interview process from there. So the thing to take away from this video is that every task that you do, you want to video it, because at the end of the day, it makes it easier. Should you need to change VAs in the future, you just ask them to watch the video that you've made in the past. And also, it's a great way then to give the very first task to someone before you've even agreed payment terms and employment details, etc., and how they're going to work with you. just to get to see if someone is capable of carrying out through video instruction, copying, doing a very simple task. And if, like I said, you want them to take their own initiative on how to work out how to use Canada, then you could leave that task to them to decide as well. It depends how much flexibility you want. But again, remember, when you're first starting out with VAs, you want to try and be as explicit in your descriptions and details of tasks as you can, because that's how you're going to measure them later. If you give them rope, they can hang themselves, but equally, you can't really then come back and say, no, you didn't do it anything like I wanted, because you never gave them clear instruction to begin with. So video yourself doing the tasks and use that as your measuring tool and a way to get people started doing the tasks that you want to give to them as your VA. I'll see you in the next video.